Hey guys, I'm back and I am emotionally exhausted. Um, for those that have been watching, you know that I've been working on a book for a friend. I've been editing it, and well, the purpose of this video is I wanted to share a spell with you, a spell for clarity. In fact, it's called a clarity spell. Um, because something happened last night in the late afternoon that just absolutely broke my heart. In fact, after I share with you what happened, I was so emotional the whole night. I was shaking and almost crying all night long because someone that I thought I trusted just stabbed me in the back. Um, I had been contracted to edit a book for a friend, which I have no problems with because I believe in her and I believe in the work because I want these books published. I think they're necessary. Um, after I helped her with her first book, which I only had 2 weeks to do. I was given a second project shortly afterwards, and this project took me the better part of 3 years to finish, because I had to literally craft the manuscript by hand. I quite literally had to type out the manuscript using old galley proofs that were given to the author by her publisher. So there I was typing it out by hand, not a task that I enjoyed in the least, but I believed in the work, I believed in the author, and I still do. I consider her a very dear friend of mine. I consider her my sister from another mister. I consider her a motherly figure. I really do. Um, so as I was writing this book, I corrected many mistakes that were in the first edition. I every once in a while added my own 2 cents, with an occasional note here or there to clarify something or to explain it a little bit further. But it was also my asking the author questions and giving her ideas that made the book bigger and better than the first edition ever was. I also made the guts of the book itself physically beautiful, um, and the man who contracted me and the author both sang my praises. The man who contracted me even commended me for doing such a bang up job for what were his words? He commended me for literally going above and beyond, and for wanting the book to be in such pristine condition, which I do. I pride myself on that. Then it came time to do the pagination of the book using MS Word, and I struggled with that a lot from the very beginning because I wanted it to look as though a professional publisher had done it. And it took me the better part. It took me almost an entire week just to do the page numbers because the software of MS Word isn't as intuitive as you think, and at least in my case, I seem to have to think ahead of what I was doing while I was doing the page numbers, and it just it just wouldn't work for me. I don't know what I was doing wrong, but it just wouldn't work. So I literally had to go back and do every single page number individually by hand, and to make sure that that they weren't skipping around because the page numbers kept skipping around, And even though I had them aligned properly, down the middle, if you were looking at two pages, the page numbers would be aligned down the middle. They kept moving back to the opposite sides, and I have no idea why they kept doing that. So it was just an insurmountable struggle from the very beginning of that phase of the book. Otherwise, the book was done except for that part. And I showed him the book up until that point, and he said it looked amazing, and the author was so pleased with this. She was singing my praises, and I hope she still does, because I care very deeply for her. But after the page numbers were set in place and I'd saved it, I sent him both a copy of the PDF and the MS Word, because he still needed to input the ISBN number. And he got back to me a day later saying that that on his end, at least, there was a large discrepancy, that the book wasn't in a pristine or publishable manner, that a lot of pages were being skipped over. And I tried to explain to him that I had to insert page breaks every now and then just to get the pagination to cooperate with me, because it absolutely wasn't. I was having just a hellacious time with it. In fact, if I ever have to edit a book for someone again, and it comes down to that, I'm definitely going to see if I can take a class just in that specific subject, so that it doesn't happen again. So my friend has another friend who actually teaches MS Word for a living, so he knows every version of it inside and out. And so I shouldn't worry that it's in good hands. And he even emailed me saying that it wasn't my fault and that I'm not to blame, because I wasn't. I tried my best. I really did. I went above and beyond many times. There just wasn't more that I could personally do. The book, from my end, looked pristine. It looked immaculate and wonderful, ready to go press. Then a few days passed, and I sent him just a friendly email, and he sent me back last night something really scathing that said, "Are you kidding me?" And throughout the email, he kept blaming me for the book, saying that that because of what you did, the book may not be published for a few months now. And that really, really hurt my feelings. I tried as best I could to get that book ready. And, it wasn't really my fault. It was the technology, that it wasn't cooperating. And I really did try my best. And it just broke my heart that he was showing me this other side of him that was just stabbing me in the back. So, rather than really let this bother me any longer, I decided to put a little magic into it. And for this clarity spell, you will need 3 candles, 1 black, 1 aqua colored, and 1 white. You will also need a candlestick for each candle, some clary sage essential oil, You can also burn some sandalwood oil with a bit of clary sage oil mixed in as an incense. And optional, you could use an X-Acto knife. Now the black candle. Now the black candle, as you anoint it really from the bottom up, all the way around, going away from you with the clary sage oil. And as you do, imagine the black candle being sort of like a prism, sending back all those emotions that you were feeling, because ultimately those aren't your emotions. You were made to feel them by someone else. Therefore, that other person owns those emotions. So, as you anoint this candle, or dress this candle rather, really think about that and really focus on that while you do it. Don't rush. Just do it slowly, methodically, and really constantly visualize that. Now, with the aqua candle, and you're more than welcome to actually carve the word clarity into the candle, because this spell is all about clarity. It's about seeing beyond your emotions to really see with clear and fresh eyes, so that you don't really overreact the way that you maybe did or have done. But you want to address the clarity candle from the top down. And while you do, imagine a shower of aqua-colored glitter, sort of like magical fairy dust in a sense. And strongly imagine the people that have affected you in your mind's eye, and imagine this dust drifting into their own eyes and really surrounding them, and keep reaffirming in your head the word clarity as you do so, or see with clear eyes, because things like this, it really is no one's fault, and it's really a shame when someone gets blamed for something that they had really little control over. After this, I'm really not even sure if I want to if I want to have any contact with this individual ever again, because I was extremely hurt by his behavior. Now, the last candle you need to anoint, also with clary sage oil, is the white one, and that candle you just anoint. You can actually anoint it from the bottom up also, because this candle is being anointed just to send your energy, sending your spell out into the universe. Also, another really good idea is to write a letter to the universe, saying what it is you want, expressing your feelings and how you felt that you have been unjustly hurt in the process. And after that, just let the candles burn and keep visualizing that aqua colored glitter, dousing someone's eyes, even their third eye, with clarity of vision, so that they aren't misled by their emotions. And that is really all there is to the spell. I hope you like it, and when the book is finally available, I hope you read it and you love it and enjoy it, because it's taken a lot of work to get it to the stage that it is in now. Okay, so I will bid you adieu, and until next time, my witches, keep calm and witch on. If I could recommend only one book on purple magic until mine is published, it would be this book. So if you need to beg, borrow, or steal for this book, don't really steal for this book. I'm just kidding. I don't want to get into trouble for recommending thievery, but